Woo! Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to our inaugural show of the Money, Life, and More episode. I want to, first of all, just a disclaimer: we are trying something very new. And I just hope that everybody stays with us and has a little patience as we learn the platform and get familiar with this. But I think this is such a cool tool, and hopefully it affords us the opportunity to come and hang out with you all on a regular basis. So without further ado, let's just get into a little bit about what we are, who we are, and what we're doing. So I'll give you a little brief overview. Money, Life, and More is a collaboration between three uh, personal finance bloggers. Myself, I am Tony Husbands, and I blog with the Debt Free Divas. We have Jessie Fearon with the Budget Mama, and Michelle Jackson with Shop My Closet Project. And so we've decided to come together on a monthly basis to talk about all things as they relate to your money. And hopefully you find this show informative, entertaining, and you take some things home with you that will help you do better and make better choices with your money. So before we go any further, I'd like to just take some time, and because this is our first show, let's just get to know one another, if you don't mind indulging us for a second. So Michelle, why don't you start us off?
Hi, my name is Michelle Jackson. I blog at the blog, the Shop My Closet Project. Basically, I'm really focused on living frugally, but kind of in a really fantastic and fabulous way. I consider myself an accidental hipster with the bathing. I do bathe, and I really like to explore also the psychology of money. Why am I spending my money the way that I am? What kind of triggers negative spending? What triggers positive habits? And I like to also blog about random stuff as well. So I spend a lot of time on frugal living, travel, lifestyle, and more. So please feel free to check me out at shopmyclosetproject.com. Jessie?
I'm Jessie Fearon. I blog at The Budget Mama, and it's where I share my family's real life on a budget. Unfortunately, budgets have such a bad rap these days, and my mission is to teach people that, you know, budgets are not bad. They're actually really, really good for your money. And as a struggling debt survivor, I'm still slaying the debt monster, but I've already paid off over $30,000, and I'm not even $30,000. I'm not even 30 yet, and so it is possible to live a great life without a bunch of debt, and it's possible to slay the debt monster, but it all starts with the budget, and that is my goal through The Budget Mama. And you can read more about me at thebudgetmama.com. So.
And that is a perfect segue into our blog. My name again is Tony Husbands. I'm a financial coach, one of three with the Debt Free Divas, and we talk about everything that relates to paying off debt, living on a budget, developing your emergency fund. Our mission actually is to help 1 million families pay off debt. That is the quest that I am on, and I'm kind of putting this out there for the world, so you guys are kind of the first people to really take that in. But the Debt Free Divas kind of grew out of my family's own experience slaying debt. We were able to pay off just over $100,000 in debt. It took us 7 years, and that did not include our mortgage. So that was all crazy, non-mortgage, credit cards, student loans, lease payments, you name it. We seemed like we had an affinity for everything debt related. So it took us a long time, but I use the Debt Free Divas to talk about the experience that we had and just to motivate others to try to accomplish the same thing. Now, you may not be in as much debt as we were, and it may not take you as long as we were, but I think the principles that we talk about and the help that we try to dispense is relevant for anyone who is looking to slay that debt monster. So, without further ado, that's a little bit about us. Without further ado, I want to get into what today's topic is going to be about. And we are on the cusp of the 2014 holiday season, right?
Yes.
So we're right there, you guys. Are you guys looking forward to the holidays?
I am. I love Christmas. I'm one of those like weirdo like fanatics about like I love Thanksgiving, I love Halloween, I love Christmas, I love it all. Like I just super crazy. I drive my husband nuts. He's a total Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. Carols, yay!
I love specifically Thanksgiving. I'm like mildly obsessed with it. Partly because I don't have to give gifts. All I have to do is eat. The weather usually is really nice in Colorado that day, so I hang out, go bike riding,
Oh, nice.
watch the dog show, even though I really don't want to have pets. It's just, I love Thanksgiving. I also love Christmas specifically for the decorations. I love the
Okay.
decorations. I love how beautiful the town looks when I walk around. It's just, it's the best. So I love the holiday season, and I'm definitely looking forward to that and eating good.
Very cool. Well, I am the same way as too, and I think the best thing to me about the holidays is number one, just the time to slow down and catch up with family. I live in Chicago near a lot of my extended family, and you will not believe how few times I get around to see everybody. And so I think the holidays is to like reconnect and hang out, have fun, catch up, meet my new little cousins that are coming along, and and it's crazy how how you get so busy throughout the year and you just do not make time, and that's probably my fault, make time to spend with friends and family. So for that aspect of it, I love it. I have little kids, so the holiday, the gift giving part of the holiday is kind of new to me. My husband and I, we love the holidays, but we're not necessarily big gift givers. So this whole idea, this will actually be the first year we do a tree. Um,
Wow.
That's
so this
great.
will be an experience. Yeah, I don't think I haven't had a tree in my house since I left my parents' house, and that's been about 20 years. So so this will be a new experience, and I definitely want to get all into it or whatever. So we'll be this topic is actually probably going to be really good for me as well, because we're going to be talking about ways to have a festive and frugal time, but still keep it fabulous. Because we love to talk about ways to do more with your money and to stretch your dollars. And if you follow any one of these ladies, you get lots and lots and lots of great information, but you also get a sense that they enjoy life. And that's, I think that's why we connect, because just because you are on your journey to pay off debt doesn't mean you have to live the life of a tight-fisted, funless scrimper. So without further ado, let's get into our holiday survival guide. We're going to be giving you some tips to take with you, some portable tips to take with you to enjoy the festivities of the holiday, but do it within reason and do it without busting your budget. So, Jesse, why don't you start us off?
My tip is actually pretty easy. It's actually to keep it simple. Something I've learned, especially after having children, is that there's this I guess desire and to just give the best of the best all the time, and then you end up spending so much money and so much time even, and then you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, and your budget is just completely non-existent. And so that's why my tip is to keep it simple. You don't have to have your home, you don't have to make your home look like it's on a 2-page spread in Better Homes and Gardens. You don't. You can decorate for less and cheaply, and your holiday meals don't have to be elaborate. They don't have to have perfect place settings. Keep it simple, and I promise you, you're going to enjoy it a lot more, and so are your guests. They're going to enjoy it a lot more. And for gifts, again, keep it simple. Keep your gift wrapping simple. Our gift wrapping paper at my house is so cheap, it's not even funny. Like, we have to be careful how we place the gifts because it will, like, spontaneously, like, rip. Just make it simple, and it's okay that it's not perfect. It's totally okay. In our house, we actually only give 4 gifts, or a total of 4 gifts to each child, but sometimes we don't even give them 4. Sometimes it's 2 gifts. You know, we just stick to our budget. We do have $100 per child, because we take whatever is left after purchasing gifts and we put it into their savings account, which goes into their.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yes, and that's why our budget is a little higher than I think what most people are. But I do know people that have spent like $300 per kid before. So for us, it's just $100, and we like I said, no more than 4 gifts a piece, if that, and we just keep it simple. So, Michelle.
For me, one of the things I would really encourage people to do, especially since I'm a Thanksgiving person, before you buy any food, do an inventory of what's already in your house. I've just spent the past month doing a food challenge where I spent $10 a week on groceries. And the idea behind that was to be mindful and to use what's already in the home. So before you begin preparing your, like just the preparations for your Thanksgiving meal, look at what's already in your freezer. Look at what's in your canned goods. Do you already have nuts, vanilla extract, all the different things the components that go into making a holiday dinner? Once you get those things set aside, then go through your meal plan, and you're going to save a lot of money. The other thing I would encourage people to do is to start buying the additional components now, with maybe the exception of the turkey, if you guys eat turkey or Cornish hens, that kind of thing. I tend to prefer to eat a turkey that's not frozen because I don't want to deal with all that. So typically my turkey is purchased the week of. However, everything else is done before the week of Thanksgiving. And there's two reasons why. It saves stress, and it saves time. The other thing I would say, and you touched on this, Jesse, is gift giving. Pipe up. Talk to your family about what you can and cannot do, or set rules around gift giving. For this year, I'm giving a gift to my mom, and I'm going to see my grandma this weekend. Actually, I was able to wrangle some mileage points so I could go visit my grandma, and that's her trip, or that's her gift from me this year, is to see her before Christmas. My mom, I got credit card miles to take her to Hawaii. That's a whole nother conversation. But that was easy for me to do. That didn't really cost me any money, and that's awesome. So just be honest about what you can do. If you can't do credit card wrangling and all that, that's perfectly reasonable. There have been many years where I did not give gifts. I give cards. So this year I have a number of friends in my close circle who have had babies. All year long I've been buying baby onesies. Baby onesies all year long. They are not getting Christmas gifts from me. I love my friends, but they have already gotten their gifts. So we're clear on that. They're getting beautiful cards, and that's it. So just make sure to communicate what you can or cannot do, and have boundaries about that, because if you don't, you're going to end up overspending, and you're going to be upset with yourself, and everyone else is going to be fine but you. So be clear. What about you, Tony?
You know what? You guys bring up some really interesting points with the gift giving, and I have a question for you before I go into my tips. Do you feel, or have you ever felt like it's an obligation to give a gift to somebody who's already given to you?
Yes, I've felt that way before, and it was very difficult to let go of that sort of that guilt, I guess. But sometimes I just have to be a little frank, and I just have to say, thank you for the gift, thank you so much. I will, I'll bake you something. I do that as my, gift in return. But I mean, most people that give you a gift don't actually expect something. That was something I really had to embrace, because usually when I give someone a gift, I'm not expecting them to immediately hand me something back. And so, that's something you have to remember, that most people don't really expect a gift back from you.
When I give, I'm giving because I love the person. They're my friend, they're my family member, and I'm giving from the heart. And Jesse hits the nail on the head. I don't have the expectation that it's a quid pro quo kind of situation. It's I'm giving, and that's it. I think that if you have people in your life who are like, well, why didn't you give me a gift? Then we're going to shut them off, and I don't need to be giving them gifts later. Really, I'm just not going to do that. So, and but no, like, you give because it's from the heart, and that's it. And some things, like, if I lived closer to, a lot of my friends are overseas. If they lived here, I'd babysit their kids, and I feel like that's a pretty good, like, exchange.
Yes.
Baking, whatever, help them clean their house. So there might be things that you can give that are maybe labor-related time. It's free, but it's something that doesn't require you to go to the mall. And then you, like, when I go to the mall, I get this, like, glazed look over my eyes. I'm like, oh, look, there's Express. Oh, there's shoes. Oh, there's a Cinnabon. So for me, I can't be up in the mall all day long shopping for people. I have to have boundaries for myself. So if I'm giving to someone and then later I hear that they're like, well, why didn't Michelle do this? Well, that's the last time they're going to get from me. There you go. They'll
Okay.
get cards.
I mean, and I like the idea of cards, like written notes. We don't get letters anymore. We're emailing and texting, so that's actually probably that's something that would go to me, a very long way. I would definitely appreciate. So I'll send you my address in a minute, Michelle.
Hey, I'll do it. Jesse, make sure you do the same.
But the baking, I think the baking, especially for somebody like me who does not cook a lot, I just don't care to that much. But I think the baking is also another idea that is a really good idea in terms of an ability to do a lot for a lot of people without spending a lot of money, and that goes a long way. I've actually received some baked goods from friends that I thought was such a nice. I mean, and just really some, they put the little saran paper around it. It was just really simple but really good, and I really still remember all these years later. So okay, so I thought about that, and I think that's something, especially when you're trying to either work within a strict budget or trying to get out of debt or trying to just change some of your money habits. The holidays can really be tricky.
Mm-hmm.
They can really be tricky in terms of feeling like money, feeling like spending on somebody or spending money for somebody, communicates how much you love them. And I think that there are ways that we can do that and be more effective with our resources and our time. So my tips, and I actually took this from someone, and I'm not ashamed to say I borrow when I hear a good idea. I borrow and I reshare. So this one actually was somebody that I worked with, and they had small kids, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to have kids, so I'm going to do that. They rewrap toys for the younger kids. Especially I have a 10-month-old.
Notice?
Right. I have a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old. Guess what? I don't even know if he still even gets the concept yet of the whole gift giving and the present buying, and he still plays with the boxes, right? So that's an area right now. I'm going to take advantage of that because in a few years he'll start to like, yeah, Mom, wasn't this in my toy box already? But until then, that's a way for people to save money on gifts, especially if you have small kids. If you have if maybe older kids or larger family, you're part of a larger family, something that you can do is a gift exchange. Everybody put your name in a hat and draw one out, set a dollar maximum on that, and then use that as part of the festivities versus feeling like you have to go and buy for everybody. Another idea, which you guys have kind of alluded to, but time, spending time. One of the things I do like, and we're doing this with my family that lives out of town. We get together for the holidays because we don't see each other on a regular basis. So getting together, potlucks. I've cooked a full Thanksgiving meal a couple of times just because I wanted to do it. My mother used to do that every year. My hat's off to her. How will I ever do that again? Okay. Because I mean, again, my hat is off to people that can do that, but I am a great lover of the potluck get together. So everybody cook a dish, do something that you're really good at, and bring it together. And then that's another way for me, anyway, to really try some new things and test out. Maybe get a little bit more adventurous with a dish that I haven't tried before. So and again, it's a way to save money, time, because I don't understand how cooks or chefs who cook that full Thanksgiving spread, how do you enjoy the actual Thanksgiving dinner? I was so beat, after doing that. So my hat's off to you all that can pull that off on a regular basis. But other than that, I just think that this is a time that we don't want to forget that the holidays are a time for us, hopefully, to spend it with family, reconnect with friends and family, to slow down, maybe, hopefully, evaluate what you've been able to accomplish all year, and kind of reflect on what you're doing, and think about that, make plans for the next year. So I don't, stressing out over spending a lot of money or spending a lot of time in the malls, don't, with your eyes glazing over like Michelle. I think that there are some things that we can do better with that. So hopefully these tips have helped you all just kind of rethink the holidays and think about how you can do things a little bit more efficiently. So,
Tony, I hate to interrupt you. You know what? There's one thing that none of us mentioned. Um, and I'm laughing at us a little bit in a good way. Volunteer, serve someone else. So as much as we're giving gifts to one another, I think sometimes, especially with kids, once they're about 5 or 6, when they kind of get the concept
giving.
of giving, that's a good opportunity. My mom used to do that with me. We were not rich, but we would go and serve the homeless on Thanksgiving, and it was probably every other year we would do that, and that really changed the dynamic of the giving that and the gifts that I received. And I was only child, and I hate to say this, I got tons and tons of gifts, but the thing is, I like to play outside, so I had all these gifts, but I had games and things, but I was the only child, and we all played outside, so it didn't really match what I was doing. So just, maybe the one thing to consider is other people outside of your home volunteer. Your little people, the both of you guys have really tiny, tiny kids, so that's not, you guys aren't there yet. But maybe with the older child, that's something to embrace as well, and that might eliminate pressure on you guys and help them have compassion for others.
I think that's a wonderful idea, and we could even just use that for our action item
Oh,
for our audience. Think about some way that you can give back or volunteer for the holiday season. Maybe start to incorporate that as a tradition you do as a family. Okay, so time is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but time is really floating by. We didn't mention this, but we were going to try to keep these conversations to 30 minutes because I know you all are busy, and this is the end of the day, and I'm sure you have some things that you need to get to. But before we get out of here, I just want to just take a little tour around our blogs, if you don't mind, and talk about some things that we have going on. So, Michelle, why don't you start us off with that?
well, right now I'm kind of starting a lot of posts on evaluating how 2014 has gone for me so far. I'm also in the process of trying to find someone to work with to do a redesign of my blog. I think we're ever changing, and as a human being, I'm changing, and I want to express myself a little differently on the blog and show a different kind of concept. So I'm excited about that. Again, I'm really wanting to challenge people in terms of how they use their time. And I've kind of discovered the 5 things that I'm most focused on personally, which is health, time, people, money, and travel. That's the big focus. That's a lot of what I'm going to write about going into the future. So I hope you join me as I explore those topics. What about you, Jessie?
Well, my 31 Days of Real Life on a Budget series is obviously going to be ending on Friday. It has been quite fun and exciting to go through that and to post every single day for 31 days. Quite a challenge. Bloggers, you should do that.
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
It's a challenge. It's awesome, but I mean, great challenge. So I'll be wrapping that up on Friday. I'm really excited. Tomorrow's post is actually 6 strategies to help you develop a positive cash flow. So if you're slaying the debt monster or getting ready for Christmas, there's 6 strategies that you can try to use to bring some more income into your budget to hopefully balance it out a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on right now on the blog for me. But Tony, what about you and Debt Free Divas?
Well, we are in the midst of our annual Pay Cash for Christmas contest, and the idea for Pay Cash for Christmas is just to encourage you to take no more debt into 2015 and start early so that Christmas doesn't catch you off guard, because it does come on the same day of the year every year. But somehow or another, sometimes it just kind of sneaks up on us. So I like to start us off with a little challenge. And the challenge basically is to commit to pay cash for your Christmas, all of your Christmas spending, and really all of your holiday spending. So you can add Halloween or Thanksgiving or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating, pay cash for it. So I want you to develop a budget for your holiday spending and then divide that budget by the number of weeks we have left. So we have another 7 weeks left now until Christmas. So you should be able to figure out how much, if you haven't started with this already, how much you need to save each week to be able to pay cash for Christmas. Now, if you do that, if you can commit to that and tell us about what your plans are on our website, you can find our Pay Cash for Christmas contest entry. You can enter for a chance to win $250 to help pad your Christmas fund. So, you know, we have some entries, but definitely room for a lot more. And either way, even if you don't win the $250, you still win because you are taking no more debt into 2015. And I say that's a win for all of us. So if you want to check that out, definitely join us at debtfreedivas.org. So that's about it for us. And I don't know, Jesse, do you want to, I want to definitely say thanks to you for either joining us live or if you catch this on YouTube later. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay connected and updated for when we have our upcoming episodes on everything that has to do with your money, your life, and more.
Yes, and thank y'all for joining us. Our next show will be on December 2nd, and we'll be discussing ways to give that don't cost money, which we already kind of talked on a few of those points already. So we look forward to seeing you guys on December 2nd so you can hopefully get some more ideas. So thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Have a good night.